The office closing?
Aye, were you delayed or something?
Yeah, the road.
They've gone. But they left your wages with me. No. Will you sign for them? If it was a traffic hold-up, I'll put you both down for half an hour's overtime.
Thanks.
Bye.
I'm dried out. Would you like a drink?
On pay night? I daren't. Mrs. likes to see the pay pack. I tell you what, come and have a cup of tea. She'd like to meet you.
Sure.
Hello, love.
You're late, Jeff?
Yeah, bit of a hold-up. What's this Harry Hawkins, love?
Oh, pleased to meet you, Mr. Hawkins.
Hello.
Was Terry still poorly?
Yeah. Yeah, love. 2 hours overtime this week.
Well, it's yours, isn't it? Oh, will you have some supper, Mr. Hawkins?
Harry.
Will you have it?
Just a cup of tea, please. It's been a thirsty day.
Ah, it's the diesel fumes. That's what's wrong with Terry, sitting
Harry?
up in that cab all day. I told you that, Jeff. Just unhealthy breathing fumes all day. No wonder you feel dry. And it's nothing for you to grin about, Jeff Simpson. That's what put Terry down. It'll give you ulcers, I'm telling you. You sure you won't have some indeed?
Oh, no, thanks, Mrs. Simpson. I've got to push off. I'd love that cup of tea, though.
Yeah, sit down.
I was saying, John, I've always liked that old story of George Hurst.
All right.
Standing there at the wicket waiting, last batsman, Wilfred Rhodes come in to join him. 15 runs still to get. And as Wilfred passes him, George says, "Don't worry, lad. We can always take him in singled."
And how does that help?
John, you can't expect them all to fall into our lap, not in one go.
In our work, it's been done.
Oh, yeah, we know what happened. We pull them all in. Prosecuting solicitor gets a bee in his bonnet and toffee-nosed and says, "All your charges won't stick. You'll have to let some of them go."
And the ones we want most are the ones they let out.
Exactly, so it's best to keep chipping at it. Take one of them here, 2 of them there. That way you break it up.
It'll take time.
Time is what we have most of, John.
And you expect Hawkins to get one of them for you?
I expect Hawkins to get at least 3 of them. After that, we'll start taking him in singles, right up to Mr. Courtney himself. Oh, look, don't worry, John. When the right load comes along, Hawkins will be with it. I'll see to that.
How's it going?
Fine. I'm not paid again.
£24. Well, that's no temptation.
Well, it's an easier way of earning a living. With proper reckoning for overtime. Every separate hour paid for on the nail.
Mr. Semple won't query your overtime at the moment, but don't push it.
I'm not, but if I'm to lay myself open on the road, I have to hang around.
How does your mate take it? What's his name?
Jeff Simpson. He doesn't mind, long as it's my fault. The new driver. He could do with a bit of overtime.
Work is playtime.
Yeah.
How are you liking it?
It's thirsty work. They say it's the diesel fumes. Would you like a drink?
Not with that, you don't. Lock it up, Jim.
The offer's still open.
I'll join you.
With that, we could have champagne.
Ah, very kind of you, Mr. Lane.
It's a pleasure to see you here, Mr. Barlow.
What? Oh.
Ah, at the Shellbrook, only the best. Yes, Mr. Courtney.
Evening, Mr. Courtney.
Mr. Barlow, celebrations?
No, Mr. Lane's doing me the honours.
Have you seen our gaming room, Mr. Barlow?
No.
Oh, would you like to see?
13 red.
Care to play?
No.
Not a gambling man, eh?
You might say more a drinking man. Oh, it's very kind of you. It's a very elegant place.
Yes.
Running a club like this, do you ever have any trouble?
It's always trouble, Mr. Barlow. It's the staff, mostly. They get tired of the late hours, but we manage.
Yeah, not being busy must be boring. I meant the other kind.
Is there another kind?
Well, where there's gaming, there usually is. Somebody putting on a bit of pressure.
Hasn't happened to us.
No?
They only put on pressure where they have reason to, Mr. Barlow. You must know that.
Oh, it changes so quickly. We're always willing to learn. What kind of reason?
Same old reason. There's always a bit of pressure at first, as you know, to buy this or that on the side. But what's cheap at first is dear in the long run. And if you buy, well, there's pressure to buy more. And when they've got, or they know that you've got something to conceal, then they move in. But not in this club, Mr. Barlow. You can drink up.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's all honest stuff. And as they know I've nothing to hide, they know I'd go straight to you.
Well, if there's any trouble, ever?
Of course.
Well, I promised myself an early night.
Next time you come in, forget business and relax.
I'll do that. Good night, Mr. Cornell.
Good night, Mr. Barlow.
Mr. Bryan.
So you think you're settling in?
It's like being the insurance man. They say, come in, will you have a drink, and here's the money. Oh, Jeffries of the Paradise is running short. He wants a word with you. That man you were talking to is a cop.
I know he's a cop, Tony. He's also a member of the club.
You want him here?
I can't very well keep him up, can I? Not a chief superintendent.
No, what was he talking about?
He was offering help in case we need protection.
How much did he want?
You were very mercenary, mind, Tony. He doesn't want money.
You were going to encourage him?
Well, Mr. Barlow is not a gambling man. You might say he's more of a drinking man.
Oh, well, see that he pays for it.
Anthony Tony Reeves.
No form?
Not yet. Oh, is this the man, sir?
Yeah, that's him. Tony Reeves.
In the Shellbrook?
Yeah, waiting to speak to Courtney.
Well, he has no form, sir.
Oh, that would be unlikely. There's nobody in the club with form, except Giorgio, and he hasn't enough to fill a postcard. He was minding the gaming room.
Well, have we learned anything at all, sir?
Yeah. I had a long chat with Courtney, asked him about protection, asked him if he was being troubled. He said no and told me how protection worked.
Well, that must have given him a laugh.
He was at pains to explain that they only prey on their own kind, so they wouldn't trouble him.
I wish I'd heard that.
Must be the only club in the region that isn't troubled.
And we know why?
Yes, and the Shellbrook is a front. I have been told so, and now I am convinced that it is. It has all the marks of it. Now, we know that George Scobie goes there. I believe that Johnny Gibbs goes there. So now, Courtney runs clubs, Scobie runs bookmaking, and Gibbs?
Well, he seems to be behind a lot of crime.
Yeah. So if those three are meeting, it could give us a lead. I mean, the club is lush and well stocked, so there's money behind it. It's never very busy because they don't drum up members. Maybe they don't want to be busy. Maybe it is just a place to meet.
You have someone inside the club?
Aye.
Reliable?
Oh, not experienced enough to be reliable, John. Useful.
And Reeves?
Looks after Courtney's security, said to be good at it.
Could I have some notes, sir?
Aye. It's funny how one thing leads to another, John. Let Hawkins see this.
Some of your thoughts on it, sir?
Not far now. It's on the left as soon as we get to the main road.
Why that one?
It's part of the regulations on this run. The firm knows them when they take vouchers. We have to stop. This is the place.
Like your wife said, makes you dry.
Well, what kept you?
Mr. Reeves. He's from the firm. Harry Hawkins. He's standing in for Terry.
Yeah, I know. You can stay and watch if you like.
Sort of a dick employed by the firm. Maintenance and security out on the road. Checks on the logbooks, running times, sees the lorries keep on the route.
Why haven't I seen him before?
Because he's one of the firm's approved stopping places. He chooses any one of them different days. You've just been lucky, that's all. He stands there and checks the drivers in, checks the mileage done, checks the load.
Why pick on us?
He's been running a bit of overtime, Harry. You want to know why? You want tea?
Yeah.
2 teeth, love. Yeah.
What's he up to?
Reeves?
Aye.
Money for Courtney. Usually comes once a week on Tuesdays, like I told you, same time. He goes into Courtney's office.
Money from clubs?
Well, it must be the way it's done every Tuesday. I've something for you, Mr. Barlow.
How long has Reeves been doing this?
About 3 months. Courtney says he's just the security man for the club.
Yes, you told me. You said that Scobie comes to the club to see Courtney.
Well, they go into the office or into the gaming room. I don't hear anything.
And Gibbs?
We don't know that name.
Biggest fella, 50, sandy hair.
No. I said I've something for you.
Go on.
Courtney's after another load of whiskey.
You're more used to his badger. Look, Jimmy, you've worked at other clubs, one that Courtney looks after. You know what goes on. Now that you're at the head office, I want to know all that he is up to.
But I only work behind the bar.
If you were listening, lad, you'd hear more than you think.
Is that why you wanted me to stay on?
Yeah.
Well, all I know is Courtney buys whiskey on the side, supplies it to other clubs, pushes it.
Look, we all know that, lad. Half the booze in his club is nicked, half the cigarettes as well. It's a sideline. It is not what I'm interested in. Have you ever seen a club as quiet as this one?
No.
Half the time you don't take enough money behind the bar to pay your own wages.
Oh, a bit more than that.
Oh, come off it, Jimmy. Now, look, I want to know everyone who goes to the club, who meets there, who seems to be the real boss. Do you know?
No.
You could do yourself a bit of good, lad.
Well, the whiskey job, don't you want to know about that?
Oh, every little helps.
I think Reeves could be laying it on.
We won't meet over that. Come on, mate.
Regular hours now.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. You know him?
Yeah, it's Reeves. He's one of the security men at Van Aert's. Did you know that?
Aye, that's why you were put there.
It would help if I was told all that's going on.
Make very little difference now. Mr. Barlow has other ideas.
What? 2 weeks bashing around in heavy lorries and now it's other ideas? What do? Just pack it in then?
Pack one in, John.
Oh, this cushy job you got for him.
Oh, no need to pack it in, lad. Not just yet. There's another little job you can do for Mr. Watt. Good night, Sergeant.
Sir, this little job.
Mr. Watt will tell you.
Good night, sir.
Driving a heavy diesel all day can't be fun.
Wasn't meant to be fun, John. I think we're on to bigger things. Is Mr. Cook about?
He's gone.
Oh, never mind. I'll keep till morning. Something for his little book.
From the person who's more useful and reliable?
Can be made reliable, John. All he has to do is look and listen, and it might just fall into our laps in one go.
Scobie, Courtney and Gibbs?
And their mobs. I think we've got the in on the men that Courtney fronts for. Now, if we can get a line on that...
You'll still afford to take them in singles.
Oh, why?
Have you spoken to Mr. Gilbert?
I shall make a report when I'm ready.
And after all these months, you find somebody who'll just walk up and tell you?
Not just walk up. Willing, but have to be trained.
Like being made reliable?
Aye. And it wasn't just luck. I had to make the chance. Well, there was a lad. Sort of worked in other clubs, knew what was going on. Courtney took an interest in him, took him to his own club. Head office as personal steward, discreet.
So he turns round and tells you, just like that?
No. Well, there was this little hat check girl he was interested in from another club. Asked if she could come along as well. Lane, the manager, said yes, and then later on Courtney threw her out. Well, and apart from that, there was so little business at the club that there was no chance to fiddle. Well, I happened to run into him when he was thinking of packing it in and talked him into staying on.
You'd make good the fiddle.
And more. It was worth it, John.
You think he can put us on the inside?
Aye.
So far, he's only handed over Reeves.
Yeah, but that could be interesting. I mean, Reeves works as security for Vanard's transport, doesn't he? And he's supposed to be good at it. He's also sold himself as security to Courtney. Now, I want to know where those two met. I want Jim Cook to check him.
No form.
I want to know where he learnt about security, where he worked before Vanard's. Tell Hawkins to keep in with him.
Hey.
What's up? This is a dodgy bit. This saves time.
Yeah, I don't like it. Downhill with a load like this.
Next is Stanton's Corner, and you swing right.
I remember. Right?
Yeah.
Top of the hill, half a mile, and that gaff.
You stopped there?
Yeah. It's an official place, isn't it?
We're a bit late already.
Yeah, I could do with the rest. 10 minutes, just time for a cup.
Whatever you say.
All good.
And what are you doing here? Taking time off?
Yeah.
You're 20 minutes behind already. You should have gone straight through.
Could do with a stretch. Any objections?
You're 20 minutes behind time. Where have you been?
On the road, Mr. Reeves. We haven't stopped since we left the docks. It's just A bit cautious.
Yeah, while you're here, I'll check your load.
Yeah, while you're checking, can we have a cup of tea? What's he watching this place again for?
Told you to go straight through.
You said he checks different places. 2 teas, look.
He makes a spot check. He can go where he likes. He'll report you.
Who's in?
Reeves.
I'll get out of the way.
Here, Miss Barlow.
Here it is, Len.
Where's your desk? Where all this? 27 red.
Bad luck.
Where's your desk? 15. 19. Same one. 20.
Here it is.
Really, sir. Not a bit.
You could improve it, could you?
Well, one thing, I wouldn't have that lad stuck outside the gaming rooms.
Giorgio? People expect a strong-armed man in a gaming club. They're used to it. Part of the excitement.
But it's not that kind of club.
We do have some members. A member like Barlow would expect it.
Now, there are better ways for you.
Tell me.
Well, your layout is good. You have to go through the Chevy room and past the other tables to get to the back. Now, any one of your croupiers could be the minder.
They're always busy.
Well, all right. One of the players at the back tables. You don't need a lad stuck out there. He's no use.
That makes sense. Any more ideas?
Well, give me a week to think about it. You still interested in that load?
Just stick to security, Tony. Watch the club managers, spot the fiddles.
I can lay it on.
Look, you're more useful to me doing the things you're good at. There are other places I might want you to take a look at. You know, you could make it full-time. The money would be good.
It would look better if I had a second job. With a bit of backing, I could set up my own firm, Reeves Security Agency. All legal, I got good references. Make this job look legal, too.
Where did you learn all this, Tony?
The Army, Red Cap.
A red cap. I hated their guts.
Were you in the Army? Must have been national service. Now, you hated their guts because they were thorough. There are more fiddles and schemings in the Army. Now, try to make up a quartermaster's store secured. If you can do that, you can do anything. Maybe you need a good planner, too. Now, this job I was talking about.
How much?
Full load, 550 cases. I know where it could be taken. 16,000 quid's worth.
Look, it's always happening. There are other people who do that. They do time for it, too. Forget it.
Look, I know exactly where it can be taken. No trouble.
Don't tell me about it. I'll put you on to someone. You tell him.
Well, I thought there might be something in it for me. Help me set up that agency.
Yeah, well... Look, ask for 400 quid. Is that enough? And then keep out of it.
For 400 quid, I'll lay on the whole job for them.
Look, after that, I don't want you doing this small stuff. Not if you're working for me. It's time you were going. Come on. You think we should dispense with him?
Yeah, it'll look better.
Good night. You, Mr. Barlow, been playing?
No, just watching.
Of course. Not a gambling man. Will you join me?
Not tonight, thank you. I was just on my way. Another time, perhaps?
Good night. You know that one, Jimmy?
Mr. Barlow?
Chief Superintendent Barlow. So watch it.
Oh, yes, sir.
I want you to do something for Tony Reeves.
Can't keep away from it.
I'm losing half a day for this.
Ah, Mr. Barlow wants a word with you.
In his office?
He's coming in here. Have you seen this? Transfers and promotions.
Ah. That, little job we have for you. A load of whiskey. Mean anything to you?
The firm runs 3 loads a week from the docks.
From what I'm told, this one will lie in the depot overnight.
Oh, that's the Thursday load. It's a late run.
Ah. I'll have a word with Mr. Simple, make sure you're with it. Somebody's thinking of taking it.
From the depot?
No, en route. Any idea where?
No. Is it a hijack?
I'm told Reeves is fixing it.
Reeves? Well, it could be the calf. You gonna let them do it?
Maybe.
Sir, remember, I have a mate, Jeff Simpson.
Can he handle himself?
Will he have to?
We'll let it run, if we can be there to help.
The information on Reeves.
Oh, tell Hawkins.
Well, there's not a great deal, really. He's been with security firms most of the time. Learned about security and police duties during national service. Military police. Good service record. After national service, he tried to join the force in Bristol. I have a copy of his application. Failed his eyesight test. Not quite up to 20/20 standard. Job with internal security service, 3 years. Another security service, 2 years. Joined Vanna's transport as security man 2 years ago. In all jobs, his record has been good, reliable, painstaking, dependable.
Yeah, except Vanards have been losing loads.
Much less since he joined them, sir.
Yeah, but he works for Courtney, and Courtney's mob are going to lift a load.
But Mr. Barlow? Jimmy wants
yes. Barlow?
Jimmy speaking, Mr. Barlow. That man you asked about, he came into the club last night.
Mr. Gibbs?
That's right. I didn't hear anything. They went into Courtney's office. But I heard Courtney say, "Come in, Johnny," and later Lane said, "Good night, Mr. Gibbs." And another man came, Blakely.
Blakely? Huh? Medium build. 5'9". Dark, thinning hair.
Just Blakely?
Hey, did Blakely and Gibbs meet in the club?
No, it was at different times. Blakely came later to meet Reeves. They talked at the bar and they went into the office.
Did you hear anything that Gibbs said?
No, but I heard Blakely. He talked to Reeves for a bit at the bar. And Reeves said, "Stanton's Corner." And then he said, if there was an obstruction like a stalled car, he'd have to stop. And Blakely said, "It sounds like a good idea." It was then they went into the office.
That all? You sure, Jimmy? Good, lad. See you later. 2 visitors to Courtney's club last night. One was Johnny Gibbs, so mark him as definite.
It's beginning to pay off.
Well, it will, John, when we know why he was there. So far, we don't. The other one was a small one, Blakely. Come to see Reeves.
What about the lorry?
Yeah. Stanton's Corner.
It's on the route from the docks.
Reeves said if there was an obstruction like a stalled car, they'd have to stop.
Yeah, I would have to stop. It's downhill, sharp swing, right, then there's a couple of turns.
Oh, don't worry, lads, not for today. But if you do see somebody at Stanton's Corner today, you know it's us checking. All right, don't be late for work.
Just Blakely. I thought only top people dealt with Courtney.
Well, I'm sure they do, John. But we must be patient and take what comes our way, even if we have to start by locking up Reeves. Look, get off to this whatnot corner and see what the setup is, see where they could take a heavy lorry.
Right, sir.
Did, Mr. Reeves say anything?
Had to pull out me socks, or he'd put in a report.
On your timekeeper?
Oh, the big bullshit.
Yeah. He likes to be called Mr. Reeves.
How'd you get on with Mr. Reeves? Do you like him?
Not much. He don't mix much with the drivers and mates. He want to be pally. Mind you, it's not surprising the job he has to do. Importance. He was a cop, you know.
You don't like cops?
I can take him or leave him. I've never been bothered.
But you don't like Mr. Reeves?
No.
For my money, John, those lorries should be banned from that road. Hawkins came down like a train. He had to be on the wrong side to make the turn.
Quiet part of the road?
Yes.
And if there was a car parked there...
He'd have to slam on his brakes. Look, I'll show you. And this is downhill to the junction.
Steep?
Steep enough. Then he has to swing right. It's a tight turn with nothing to spare. Any obstacle there, say a stalled car, he'd have to stop. Or he could carry straight on and then stop. I'd say he should stop here.
Why there?
Because here is a broken down farm building with a wall we could be behind.
Huh?
This part here by the stalled car is hedges. He should stop here. They'll expect him to. But he could stop further on and make them run a bit.
How far?
Oh, to the stone wall here, about 20 yards past us.
Yeah? That would tempt them.
Especially if he then got down and made to walk back.
And we could cut between.
Yeah.
Much cover for them at the junction?
Well, those hedges are thick enough.
Good spot?
Yeah.
How many men do you reckon they'd need?
They'll need a driver and a mate. Maybe 2 others.
4 against Hawkins.
And his mate.
We can't count on him, though. But we could take Box, and I could find one other. With you and me, that's 1 for 1.
Do you fancy it?
Mr. Barlow?
Oh, he's only interested in Gibbs now.
Playing at spiders.
Spinning a web.
Which is just a sideline. Taking it in singles.
What?
That's what he said, take him in singles.
Oh, his thoughts are on bigger stuff.
Top people.
Yeah, like how the whiskey money and the club money goes back into crime. What jobs are backed by it? Safe blowing and the like.
Still puts Harry Hawkins out in front.
It's you doing that.
To me, a load of scotch is still a big job.
Are we sure it's on?
We're not sure of anything till Mr. Barlow says.
This, Mr. Gibbs, he came to the club to see Courtney. They went into the office together.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything they said?
I only heard Courtney say, "Come in, Johnny," and when he was going, Lane said, "Good night, Mr. Gibbs."
Like he was the real boss, come to give orders?
I don't know. It was just hello, Johnny. That whiskey job is on.
It doesn't bother me much. Blakely knocks off a load of whiskey, sells it to somebody, maybe Courtney, maybe somebody else. It is not what interests me. It is what goes on with men like Gibbs that I'm interested in.
Right.
Now, I will double that when you give me something on Gibbs. Why he goes to the club to see Courtney. Why Scobie sees Courtney. Who else meets there?
I said the whiskey job is on.
Oh.
It's tomorrow.
How do you know?
Reeves told Lane. He was chirpy about it. I think he's getting the cut. Well, thanks.
No.
It's on then, is it?
Aye. Jim Cook had a look at the place.
Yeah, sorry.
This mate of yours, do you trust him?
Yes.
Would he be any help?
I won't ask him. He's a family lad. He shouldn't get hurt.
There'll be 4 of us helping you.
Just the battle.
He's got his mind on other things.
Do you know what's happening?
Aye. The arrangement is this. You go careful on the hill. If there's any obstacle on the right-hand turn, then slow up, but go straight past and stop at the wall. Do you know it?
Yeah.
Now, we'll stop pretty close to the wall, and then they'll likely not go for your mate. And you get down and start walking back to see what's up.
I walk back to the crossroads.
Ah, with the lorry stopped and you walking back, they'll likely go to get it, and we'll be there to take them.
Sounds too easy.
It's up to you. But don't run on too far, just to the end of the wall.
Yeah, I won't overdo it. I'll see that Jeff is protected.
So long as we get him at the lorry.
Right. What are you worried about? It's what we've been waiting for, isn't it?
You'll get no medals for this.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday. I'll get paid.
You won't even get keeping that.
There's no need to hurry. You've plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
It's Joy who should be hurrying. Joy!
It's open.
Morning.
Is it time?
Yeah.
That clock must be slow, love.
There's no need to bust yourself.
Joy!
Have you got time for a cup?
No, we don't have that sort of time. Good morning, Joy.
Morning, Mr. Hawkins. Bye, Daddy.
Bye, love.
Come on, lover, you're going to be late.
Oh, there's still a cut in the pot.
No, we have to check in, love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Hawkins here. I'm leaving the docks in about 10 minutes. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine, Harry. Mm-hmm. Good seeing you.
Ah, dear lad. Few thoughts for your little black book.
Could I take them when I get back, sir?
Filling in the gaps between Courtney and Gibbs.
Going to Hawkins, lending some help.
Well, you're not needed there.
I offered.
You mean John Watt said, let's do it together?
I still offered. If it's associated with Courtney, we ought to see how it's being set up. Oh, Reeves might be there.
He wouldn't be so daft.
He might show up early to see if it's being done.
Hey, now, if he shows up early and goes off, let him go. He could lead us to bigger things.
Yes, sir.
So when you are finished looking after Hawkins,
Sir?
get on with the main job.
Were you telling the office? On the phone?
Oh, that. Yeah.
It being Thursday. Not to close the office like last time. Wife likes to see the wage...
Wage packet. We'll make good time today.
Find a lane about 100 yards on, park there and get back sharp.
Yeah, in about 20 minutes. Should be setting up by now.
Over there, you think, sir?
Aye. Anyone stolen a car at the junction, a cart or anything?
They could wait up that side road and drive down at the last minute.
Ah, it's possible.
Anyone stationed halfway up could keep an eye on that and be close enough for trouble.
Fair enough suggestion. Take the young lad with you. And let me know if you see anything. And keep your mate quiet.
Yes, sir.
It's you, was it?
Oh, John.
Flashing about like a pregnant cow.
I went into a pig trough. It's done for, I think.
What?
Soaked through.
Still making good time?
Don't want another report, do I?
Did the boss say anything? Mr. Semple?
Nah.
Up the hill, Harry comes down.
Yeah, you can see it's a bad turning.
Should be setting up by now.
Why, is this it?
You think it is?
That's where they put a stalled car.
Can't be. He's on his own.
Maybe he's waiting for someone.
You better lift the bonnet.
that was Reeves, so that must be the stalled car.
Still only one man, Jim.
The others will come. Reeves will send them.
There's a van behind you.
He's got plenty of room to pass.
That's it, Joss. GDF 424D. Do we just follow?
I won't be long now to the crossroads. And when he pulls up, we cut in.
How long?
A couple of minutes.
I think he wants to pass.
Yeah, I think he'd better.
He wants us to pass.
It's a chance, isn't it, Joss?
What is?
If he wants us to pass, it's quiet, we can do them here.
It's better at the crossroads.
Nothing's better than a chance, if he still wants us to pass.
I think he needs more room.
He'd make up his mind. You idiot! What do you think you're doing? You be careful with that. What was that about? Just hold tight. Are they behind us?
Yeah.
John, look at this.
They're trying to take him now.
Wait for it, John.
Now we have to run for it.
Open the door! Here, let me have it. No, leave him!
Down and I walk back to the crossroads.
All right, that was the plan. Hurt?
Just a bit.
You'll live.
Oh, what happens now, John?
We get our car brought down, we'll take two, the lads can take two. Can get this back to the depot?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'll get it back.
Right.
Here, they knew you. You a cop?
Yeah. Ah. I'm in charge, John.
And in the cells? Who? Joss Blakely, your friend Giorgio, Arnold Smith, and a new one, James Dorsey.
Reeves did come down and have a look, sir, and then he went off.
Let him run for a while. Put this through as just a whiskey job.
And Courtney, Gibbs?
Let them run. We'll pick them up when we need them.
They tried to take him ahead of time.
Well, we can't do everything, John. Well done, lad. To start.
Start?
Just a little part of a big job. You said driving diesels was a thirsty job.
My wages.
You feel like a double whiskey?
I've got Jeff Simpson waiting for me outside.
Oh, then you'll have to stick to beer. Jim? Mm-hmm.